Ciao and greetings everyone. Apologies for the long delay again. It's been Easter holidays and new job and no time to do anything. So this is me just doing a catch up and talking about food and drink. Also, I wanted to tell you about my go-to guide other than the books. But my go-to guide would be www.thegoreancave.com, and they have book quotes to back up everything that they say on that website, which is why I trust them more than other sites, because if you've got the book quotes, then you know it's come from the book. So yeah, go there, see what you can learn for yourselves as well as from me. But food and drink, most of it's pretty easy because there will always be an Earth equivalent because it was written by someone on Earth. Funnily enough, not an alien, as far as I know. But yeah, it's just renaming things basically. So one of the hardest serves to learn would be black wine, which is basically coffee. And people argue the toss about black wine all the time. Basically, there's two slaves that serve it, but one could do it in online roleplay. I know I've done it by myself, but technically, if you go by the books, there's two slaves that generally serve it. One serves the black wine, and one serves the tea and sugars. So if you ask a master or a mistress how they would like their black wine and they go first slave, that means they want it black, nothing added. If they say second slave, then they want tea and sugar and milk and sugar. So that's where the second slave would come in and give the milk and sugar, and then I think generally the free add milk and sugar how they wish to have it. The second slave just brings it over to the table, as far as I know. Again, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but this is what I've learnt so far, is that black wine, it can be served by one slave. I've done it plenty of times online. And obviously we do coffee every day. Like, you can do milk and sugar on your own. It's just a ceremony thing, I think. But yeah, if they say first slave, it means black, nothing added, and second slave means with milk and sugar. So that's one of the hardest, and Bazi tea is the second hardest, and it's the second hardest because it's generally done in the Japanese style. So you have to bring the pot over to the table and it's served in 3 cups, and there's now the onlineism will say that the 3 cups represent past, present, future. They're just 3 cups. Again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Bazi tea is just 3 cups. You put the tea in, milk, sugar, but there's a whole big ceremony about it, again based on the Japanese. Anything else after that is pretty simple. You've got Parga, which I believe is like vodka. What was that? Soul Parga. You've got Soul Parga and Parga. One's Soul Parga, I think, is the strongest, and Parga is slightly weaker. If you're a mistress, do not go near Kalanar. Kalanar is supposedly a slave's wine. So if a mistress drinks it, it basically means she's caught in the collar, as they say in Gore. She's going to get collared if she drinks Kalanar because it's very strong. So that's like a red wine. Excuse me, red wine. You got tar wine, which is very expensive, if I remember correctly from the books. Food, you've got sartana bread. Speaks for itself. It's bread. You've the way they cook things is a lot different to us. They have hearths as well as ovens. So they're not like our electric ovens. You think of a pizzeria. It's that kind of oven. Um, so you got those as well as the hearths, and everything's cooked and boiled on the hearth or hearth, however you pronounce it. Um, so bread would be cooked in the oven, and meat would be roasted on a spit over the hearth. You know what I mean. As well as anything. So you can have the parga. You can have cold, warm temperature, or warm. Warm temperature would be sort of like in a bottle, in a bottle, next to the hearth, so it stays warm but not too warm. If it's warm, then it's hung above the hearth, above the flames, so it's warm as hot. But if it's cold, this is where we get into a bit of difficulty because they don't have refrigerators or freezers. So to keep it cold, it's generally kept in a colder part of the room. They don't specifically, as I say, they don't specifically have fridges or freezers. They just have cold storage rooms where the parga and any other drink that needs to be kept cool would be there. The fun part of drinks and serving drinks for me, or at least online, is that generally you have to literally take the bottle to the free person and open it in front of them because they don't know whether it's been poisoned or not. So generally what you do, because they don't have corkscrews, or if they do have corkscrews, slaves aren't allowed to use it because generally that could be considered as a weapon and slaves aren't allowed weapons. A whole new topic on that one later. So generally it's a corkscrew as far as I know. And the way that I've learnt it, again, please, if you've got another way that you've learnt it, please let me know. The way that I've learnt it is you take the bottle to the free person, you undo the wrapping, because that's easy enough, nails, just pierce it and wrap it. And then you put the cork in between your teeth and pull until it pops out, and then you serve it, and they know that it's come straight from the bottle and you haven't poisoned it. Especially if you're a slave serving a free of an who is the enemy of your master or mistress or whatever. So they know that it hasn't been poisoned, so you serve it right in front of them and you serve how you would usually serve. Meat is literally, think of when we were hunter gatherers. You've got wild boar, and they call it boar. Then you've got ver or ver, which is goat or deer, and you've got vulu, which is chicken. Ver is goat. Again, please let me know if I'm wrong. This old memory is going down the drain and I can't remember it all. I haven't served food in a long time. I serve drinks pretty much all damn day, every day. But food is not very often. So drinks I'm good at, food not so much. What else? You've got grapes, tar grapes, which tar wine speaks for itself. So you've got grapes, you've got cheese. Literally anything you can find on earth, you'll find on Gore. It's just different names for different things. So I hope that helps a little bit. Serving, I'll give you a little advice on serving. So say you've gone to get a plate of meat and cheese or ham, or in this case bosque. Again, slaves aren't allowed to use sharp knives, so knives are generally, depending on the master or the city or the wherever you are, sometimes they are kept on chains, like retractable chains, and the slave will use it with the chain attached, or so it can't go any further than the kitchen. or a slave. It will be given to the slave by what I refer to as a kitchen master. So the kitchen speaks for itself, is in charge of the kitchen, and the slaves that are in the kitchen. So they are watched when they have to cut the meat and the cheese. And then, so you've gone into the kitchen, you wash your hands. That's, make sure you wash your hands. Then, how I serve online would it be to find a plate. So, say we're going for food here, I've got a plate, wipe it with a clean cloth, and then put the cloth around your finger and check around the rim for any dents or chips or anything that could harm the free person. And now I say, why do I say put a cloth around it? Because if you do find a dent or a chip, you're going to hurt yourself, and then you're going to be punished because you've damaged your master mistress's property. So this is why I always cover my finger when I do it, because then I'm not going to hurt myself and I can't get punished. Love being a brat. Get away with that. So you take the clean, unchipped plate, you pile on the stuff. So 3 bits of meat, 4 bits of cheese, and some grapes, and a slice of bread with butter on. Simple. And then you carry it back. I think like a waitress, I would guess. You can do it one hand, 2 hands if you're feeling a bit wobbly. Um, and then obviously you kneel for the appropriate food person. So male with your knees open, female knees closed. See my previous video as to why that is that way. If you haven't already watched it. And then you lift up the plate so it's above your head, which is lowered. So everything's lowered, and you sort of like up and towards the free person so that they don't have to lean very far to reach it. So it's towards them, and they just take it, and then you return to your kneeling. If it's Now, the thing that I need to clarify, and I promise I'll do another video on it once I've clarified it, is how to serve a drink. Now, I've been told 2 different versions. One is every single master you do this for, and then someone else has told me it's just for a personal master. So once I've clarified that, basically I'm just talking about when you're serving a drink to a male, you're supposed to press it to your stomach, then to your breast, and then kiss below the rim. But when you serve it, you turn the cup, bowl, goblet, whatever you've got, you turn it so that the kiss is facing away from the master, because obviously slave germs, I don't know, they just say turn it away, so you turn it away. But again, as I say, I'm not quite sure whether that's for every free male or whether that's just a personal master. So once I've clarified and found out, I will let you guys know. But again, if you have any questions, any comments, please leave them in the bottom, and please like and subscribe and follow for more. I will try and be regular, but mum life, work life, and slave life, just sometimes I get very, very busy. So I do them when I can do them, but I will try and be a bit regular than 2 to 3 week gaps. So I know this one's been a long gap. So I hope this has helped, and I will see you next time.